Let me tell you something that might just shift the course of your life. What you say to yourself is more important than what anybody else says about you. Every single day, you are planting seeds either of doubt or of destiny by the words you speak internally. So here are 9 things you need to tell yourself every single day until they become your identity. You are created with purpose. Before you were born, the world already had a vacancy waiting for your presence. There was something missing that only your life could complete. That is not philosophy, and it's not wishful thinking. It's truth. Too many people walk through life acting like they're optional, like they're just one more face in the crowd. But the truth is, you were sent here, not just born. And when you understand that, everything about the way you move shifts. You begin to realize you're not here to just pay bills, scroll through your phone, or survive one more Monday. You were formed to dominate in your lane. You were made to leave a mark. And I don't care how messed up your background looks or how many mistakes you've made, purpose is stronger than your past. You weren't born to fit in with average. You were born to rise above it. There's a calling on your life, and it's bigger than your comfort zone. Now, some people get uncomfortable when you start talking about purpose. They say, well, not everybody is meant to be great. Let me tell you something. Greatness isn't about fame, it's about fulfillment. You can be the greatest teacher in the school, the greatest mother in your home, the greatest leader in your community, the greatest builder of dreams behind the scenes. Purpose is not about platform, it's about alignment. When you are aligned with the reason you were created, everything around you begins to respond to that alignment. There's a rhythm to life that starts beating different when you move in your purpose. Suddenly, distractions don't distract you the same way. Fear doesn't intimidate you like it used to. You start seeing things with clarity because now you know why you're here. And if you know why you're here, you don't get thrown off by everything that tries to pull you off track. But let me make something clear. Just because you're created with purpose doesn't mean it's going to fall into your lap. Purpose must be discovered and then developed. It's a seed, not a statue. You've got to dig for it. You've got to water it. You've got to be willing to pursue it when it's inconvenient, when it's uncomfortable, and when it costs you. Because purpose will cost you your comfort. It'll cost you some friendships. It'll cost you some late nights and some early mornings. But what you gain in return is priceless. A life that means something. Don't let people who gave up on their own calling talk you out of yours. Don't let temporary pain convince you that your purpose doesn't exist. Pain is often the pathway to purpose. The thing that broke you might be the very thing that builds someone else when you turn your story into strategy. So don't despise your journey. You weren't created to be a copy. You were created to be a blueprint. There is a reason your fingerprint is unique. You are designed to touch something that no one else can. You are not random. You are not late. You are not lacking. You have exactly what you need to start, not what you think you need, what you actually need. It's already in you, hidden, maybe, untapped, sure, but it's there and it's waiting on your decision. Not your perfection, your decision. Decision activates purpose. My words create my world. Every single word that comes out of my mouth carries power, creative power, destructive power, directional power. Words are not just sounds. They are seeds. When I speak, I plant. When I repeat, I water. And eventually, what I say becomes what I see. This isn't just positive thinking or nice sounding advice. This is a law, just like gravity. If I keep saying something long enough, my mind begins to believe it, my body begins to align with it, and my circumstances start to shape around it. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunities. They fail because they keep cursing their own lives with their mouths. They wake up saying, I'm tired, and their energy follows. They say, I can't afford it, and their wallet closes tighter. They say it never works out for me, and they program failure into their future. Words become beliefs, beliefs become habits, and habits become destiny. So if I want to change my life, I must change what I'm saying, first to myself, then to the world. I don't speak based on how I feel. I speak based on where I'm going. My words don't reflect my current condition. They reflect my vision. I don't declare lack, even if I'm in a dry season. I declare overflow. I don't speak fear, even if I'm shaking. I speak faith. I don't say I'm stuck, even if I feel unsure. I say I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm moving forward. I speak what I want to create, not what I want to escape. It's easy to repeat the language of limitation. It's everywhere. Most people speak it fluently. But I'm not most people. I'm not called to echo negativity. I'm called to create possibility. So I guard my mouth like I guard my future, because they are connected. I'm not careless with my words, create a careless life. I'm intentional. I speak on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. I speak life over my day before it begins. I speak victory before the battle. I speak increase before the income. I speak clarity before the confusion ends. I speak opportunity before the doors open. I call things that are not as though they were, not because I'm delusional, but because I'm disciplined in my faith. I'm not waiting for my situation to agree with me before I open my mouth. My situation is waiting on me to command it with my words. When I say I am, I'm not just describing, I'm defining. Every I am becomes a blueprint for my identity. So I don't say I am unlucky or I am stuck. I say I am chosen. I am powerful. I am qualified. I speak like the person I am becoming, not the person I've been. And as I do, I notice the atmosphere shifts. People treat me differently. Opportunities start showing up. Doors I once thought were locked begin to swing open. Not because they changed, but because my words unlocked the part of me that had been asleep. My mouth is not a vent for frustration. It's a tool for construction. I don't use it to complain. I use it to create. I don't use it to rehearse my problems. I use it to release my purpose. When I speak, I build. When I build, I rise. I am fully aware that everything I want to see in my life begins with what I'm willing to see about my life. If I won't say it, I'll never see it. So I speak boldly, I speak intentionally, and I speak consistently, knowing my words are not wasted, they are working. My words create my world. Every single word that comes out of my mouth carries power, creative power, destructive power, directional power. Words are not just sounds, they are seeds. When I speak, I plant. When I repeat, I water. And eventually what I say becomes what I see. This isn't just positive thinking or nice sounding advice. This is a law. Just like gravity. If I keep saying something long enough, my mind begins to believe it, my body begins to align with it, and my circumstances start to shape around it. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunities. They fail because they keep cursing their own lives with their mouths. They wake up saying, I'm tired, and their energy follows. They say, I can't afford it, and their wallet closes tighter. They say, it never works out for me, and they program failure into their future. Words become beliefs, beliefs become habits, and habits become destiny. So if I want to change my life, I must change what I'm saying, first to myself, then to the world. I don't speak based on how I feel. I speak based on where I'm going. My words don't reflect my current condition. They reflect my vision. I don't declare lack, even if I'm in a dry season. I declare overflow. I don't speak fear, even if I'm shaking. I speak faith. I don't say I'm stuck, even if I feel unsure. I say I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm moving forward. I speak what I want to create, not what I want to escape. It's easy to repeat the language of limitation. It's everywhere. Most people speak it fluently. But I'm not most people. I'm not called to echo negativity. I'm called to create possibility. So I guard my mouth like I guard my future. Because they are connected. I'm not careless with my words. Because careless words create a careless life. I'm intentional. I speak on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose. I speak life over my day before it begins. I speak victory before the battle. I speak increase before the income. I speak clarity before the confusion ends. I speak opportunity before the doors open. I call things that are not as though they were. Not because I'm delusional, but because I'm disciplined in my faith. I'm not waiting for my situation to agree with me before I open my mouth. My situation is waiting on me to command it with my words. When I say I am, I'm not just describing, I'm defining. Every I am becomes a blueprint for my identity. So I don't say I am unlucky or I am stuck. I say I am chosen. I am powerful. I am qualified. I speak like the person I am becoming, not the person I've been. And as I do, I notice the atmosphere shifts. People treat me differently. Opportunities start showing up. Doors I once thought were locked begin to swing open, not because they changed, but because I did. Because my words unlocked the part of me that had been asleep. My mouth is not a vent for frustration. It's a tool for construction. I don't use it to complain. I use it to create. I don't use it to rehearse my problems. I use it to release my purpose. When I speak, I build. When I build, I rise. I'm fully aware that everything I want to see in my life begins with what I'm willing to say about my life. If I won't say it, I'll never see it. So I speak boldly, I speak intentionally, and I speak consistently knowing my words are not wasted, they are working. I will not be defined by my past. What's behind me may have shaped me, but it does not get to name me. The mistakes I made, the failures I experienced, the pain I went through, they do not own me. They are chapters, not the title. I refuse to carry the weight of shame like a badge. I refuse to replay the same old memories like a broken record, convincing myself that who I was is all I'll ever be. My past is real, but it is not in control. It does not have the final word. There are people who will try to keep me boxed in by my history. They only know the old version of me, the one that doubted, the one that broke down, the one that gave up too soon. That version might have existed, but it is no longer in charge. I have the authority to evolve. I have the right to change, to grow, to rise, and I don't need permission to do it. I'm not defined by the people who misunderstood me. I'm not limited by the moments when I fell. I'm not trapped by my own regrets. I am more than what I've done. I am more than what's been done to me. I'm not pretending my past didn't happen. I'm just refusing to be imprisoned by it. What tried to break me actually built me. What I lost taught me how to win. What I walked through gave me the strength to carry others. I'm not ashamed of the struggle because the struggle gave me depth. It gave me perspective. It gave me grit. And now I can walk with my head high, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm free. I'm free from the opinion of those who only remember my lowest moment. I'm free from the inner critic that says, you'll never be better than that. That voice is a liar. That voice doesn't get a vote. I choose to listen to the voice that calls me forward, not the one that pulls me back. Growth is not about pretending I've always had it together. Growth is about refusing to stay in the same place just because it's familiar. I've done things I regret. I've said things I wish I could take back. I've missed opportunities, sabotaged progress, wasted time, but I am still here. And if I'm still here, that means purpose is still alive. That means potential still exists. That means the page can still turn. I don't have to rewrite the past to rewrite my future. I just have to stop letting the past hold the pen. Every new decision I make becomes a step away from who I used to be. Every boundary I set, every goal I pursue, every habit I change. That's evidence of transformation. My past may be the reason I started this journey, but it will not be the reason I quit. I don't disqualify myself based on old chapters. I don't say because I failed then, I can't succeed now. That's not truth. That's fear dressed as logic. And I don't submit to fear. People will say you've changed, and they'll mean it as a criticism. But I take it as confirmation, because change is the proof that I've refused to stay stuck. I've refused to settle. I've refused to let my old pain become my lifelong story. I am not the same person I was last year. I'm not even the same person I was last week. I'm growing, I'm healing, I'm evolving. And no matter how long it took me to get here, I honor every step, because without those steps, those missteps, those breakdowns, those wrong turns, I wouldn't have the wisdom I carry today. I take 100% ownership of my life. I don't pass the blame, I don't point fingers, and I don't look around waiting for someone else to fix what I am responsible for. Everything that happens in my life may not be my fault, but how I respond to it, that's all me. I'm not here to play the victim. I'm not living at the mercy of the economy, my past, my parents, my friends, or my circumstances. I own my choices, I own my results, and I own my future. There's a power that gets unlocked the moment I stop outsourcing responsibility. The moment I stop saying, they did this to me, or if only they had helped me, or life isn't fair, that's when I actually begin to move forward. Because as long as I give someone else the blame, I'm also giving them the control. I refuse to let my future be held hostage by anyone else's behavior. I'm not handing the keys to my life to people who weren't built to drive it. I am responsible. I am accountable. I am in charge. Taking ownership doesn't mean I never fall. It means when I fall, I don't pretend someone else pushed me. I get honest, I ask what I could have done differently. I look in the mirror and say, that was on me. And then I get back up, stronger, smarter, sharper. I'm not afraid to admit when I mess up, because I know that maturity is measured by how quickly I take responsibility. Weak people hide from ownership. Strong people embrace it. And I choose strength. I don't wait for motivation to take action. I move with discipline. I don't need someone cheering me on every step of the way. I don't need a crowd to keep me consistent. My dreams are enough. My goals are enough. My standards are enough. I'm not working for approval. I'm working for alignment. I'm working for integrity. I'm working because I said I would, and I keep promises to myself. When I make a commitment, I treat it like a contract, not a suggestion. I understand that the life I'm building is being constructed one decision at a time. Every action I take is either building the life I want or delaying it. Every time I show up, I build. Every time I procrastinate, I pause. I'm not waiting for the stars to align. I'm aligning myself. I show up whether I feel like it or not, because I'm not driven by emotion. I'm driven by vision. Vision doesn't need excuses. Vision demands action. I don't complain about what I permit. If there's chaos in my life, I ask what I allowed. If there's a lack of clarity, I ask what boundaries I need to set. If something keeps repeating, I ask what part of me keeps choosing it. I don't pretend it's out of my hands. I put both hands on the wheel and take full command. I don't just react to life. I respond with intention. I don't let the day run me. I run the day. I'm not saying it's all easy. I'm saying it's all mine. My success is mine. My progress is mine. My healing is mine. My habits are mine. I'm not going to wait around for someone else to believe in me more than I believe in myself. I show up, I execute, I evolve. I don't waste time blaming people who didn't support me. I use that time to build a life so solid that support becomes a bonus, not a requirement. I am committed to the process, not just the promise. I understand that real growth doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the shadows, in the quiet places where no one is watching, where it's just me, the grind, and the vision I refuse to let go of. Everyone wants the result, but few are willing to embrace the routine. Everyone wants the promise, but not everyone will endure the process. I've made up my mind that I will show up, not just when it's easy, not just when it's exciting, but every single day, no matter what it costs. The process is where the real work is done. It's where character is forged, discipline is built, and vision is tested. It's not glamorous, it's not always fun, but it is necessary. I don't run from the process, I run to it. I embrace the grind, the repetition, the long nights, the early mornings, the setbacks, the adjustments, because I know the process isn't punishing me, it's preparing me. It's shaping me into the kind of person who can handle the weight of what I've been asking for. I don't complain about the time it takes, because anything worth having is worth the time it requires. I don't despise small beginnings, because I know greatness is built in small, consistent steps. The process might be slow, but it's not wasted. Every rep, every hour, every failure, every lesson, it's all adding up. I might not see it yet, but something is happening under the surface. I'm being strengthened, refined, upgraded. I don't need instant results to stay motivated. I've learned to be faithful with little so I can be trusted with much. I don't need to feel like it. I need to be consistent. Feelings are seasonal, but discipline builds legacy. I don't chase hype, I build habits. The excitement fades, but the routine remains. And the routine is what brings the reward. The process will test my patience, my endurance, my focus. It will expose every weakness I try to hide. But that exposure is not meant to shame me, it's meant to develop me. The process reveals what needs to change, not to break me, but to build me. And I welcome that. I welcome the stretch, I welcome the tension, I welcome the resistance, because I know that resistance is where strength is born. I don't resist the hard days, I leverage them. I am not afraid to do what others won't. I am not afraid to wake up earlier, stay later, work smarter, push further. I am not here for convenience, I am here for completion. I don't start just to say I started. I finish. I don't let boredom or fatigue talk me out of my assignment. I remember why I began, and I let that reason fuel me when motivation runs out. Every great thing I've ever seen started as something small, raw, and uncomfortable. I respect the process because I know it's where I become who I was meant to be. I know that shortcuts lead to shallow victories. I'm not looking for fast. I'm looking for real. I'm looking for deep roots, lasting results, and transformation that can stand the pressure of success. I'm not building a moment, I'm building a movement, and movements are born in the process. I remind myself daily that the outcome I want is on the other side of the process I must respect. I keep showing up, I keep putting in the reps, I keep adjusting, learning, growing. I don't need applause. I don't need validation. I just need to stay faithful because the promise is already mine. I just have to become the person who's ready to hold it. And that happens in the process. I choose faith over fear. Every single day I make that decision, not once, not when it's convenient, but moment by moment, thought by thought. Fear knocks, but I don't open the door. It whispers lies. It presents worst case scenarios. It shows up wearing the mask of logic and safety, but I know what it really is. Fear is a thief. It steals time, vision, peace, and power. I will not negotiate with it. I will not entertain it. I will not partner with it. Fear doesn't get to make decisions in my life. Faith doesn't mean I always feel confident. It means I move anyway. I don't wait until I'm fearless to act. I move while I'm still shaking. I take the leap when I can't see the landing. I speak when my voice trembles. I build when the blueprint isn't finished. Faith is not about comfort, it's about conviction. I'm not here to play it safe. I'm here to fulfill purpose. And purpose requires faith because purpose always demands more than what I think I can handle. That's how I know it's real. Fear tells me to play small, stay quiet, hold back. But faith pushes me to take up space, raise my voice, and step forward even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. I've learned that fear thrives in silence. It grows in isolation. But faith gets louder in action. It expands when I speak it, when I walk it out. When I trust what I can't see more than what I can. I don't wait for certainty to begin. I begin and allow certainty to catch up. Every time I choose faith, I build momentum. Every time I act in alignment with the vision instead of the fear, I break another layer of limitation off my life. I'm not owned by what ifs. I'm not controlled by doubt. I'm not limited by what didn't work before. I've made a decision that fear doesn't sit at my table. It might try to speak, but it doesn't get a vote. I've taken the keys back. I've reclaimed my authority. And I remind myself that faith is not a feeling, it's a muscle. The more I use it, the stronger it gets. Faith is the currency of the life I'm building. Every risk, every decision, every bold move, it's all paid for with faith. I don't wait for fear to go away before I build through it. I don't wait until I'm certain to speak. I speak and let the certainty rise in me as I go. Fear says, what if you fall? But faith answers, what if I fly? I live in that tension and I choose to fly. I choose to rise. I choose to believe that what's ahead of me is greater than what's behind me. I've seen what fear does. It delays dreams, it silences callings, it paralyzes potential. I've lived long enough to recognize when fear is trying to disguise itself as wisdom or caution or timing. But I don't confuse hesitation with wisdom. I don't confuse comfort with peace. True peace is not the absence of risk, it's the presence of faith. And I carry that peace with me, even in the middle of uncertainty. I don't have to know all the answers. I just have to keep saying yes. The moment I chose faith, everything started to shift. Doors opened that fear told me would stay shut. People showed up that fear said wouldn't believe in me. Resources flowed that fear said would run dry. I don't credit luck. I credit faith. I credit the decision to trust something bigger than my fear. To trust that I am supported, guided, and built for this. To trust that every step I take in faith is creating a future that fear could never deliver. I speak life over myself every single day. I don't wait for someone else to affirm me, validate me, or remind me of who I am. I've taken that responsibility into my own hands. I look in the mirror and speak what I want to see, not just what I feel. I speak with authority. I speak with clarity. I speak with intention, because my words are not just sounds, they are seeds, and every seed I plant with my words grows into something real. If I want to see different fruit in my life, I have to start planting different seeds with my mouth. I understand that the world around me is responding to the world within me, and that world is shaped by what I say. I don't speak out of frustration, I speak from vision. I don't speak from fear, I speak from faith. I don't declare problems, I declare solutions. I don't repeat limitations, I reinforce possibilities. I know that my voice is powerful, not because of volume, but because of belief. I believe what I say carries weight, and I don't waste that power on negativity or self-doubt. I speak life even when I don't feel it yet, because I know my words have the ability to change my feelings, not the other way around. I don't wait to feel strong to say I'm strong. I say it until strength begins to rise. I don't wait to feel whole to say I'm healed. I say it until the healing begins to manifest. My words set the tone for my day, the direction of my energy, and the quality of my mindset. I refuse to speak defeat, discouragement, or despair over my life. Every morning I wake up, I remind myself that I am not my mistakes. I am not my past. I am not my fears. I speak identity before insecurity has a chance to speak first. I say I am disciplined. I say I am focused. I say I am worthy. I say I am favored. Not because I need to convince the world, but because I need to reinforce it within me. I don't need to hear it from the outside when I've learned how to declare it from the inside. I speak life over my goals. I speak life over my relationships. I speak life over my finances. I speak life over my health, my mind, my peace, my purpose. I don't speak what I'm afraid of. I speak what I'm believing for. I'm not narrating my fears like they're facts. I'm announcing my future like it's already here. I understand that doubt speaks from evidence, but faith speaks from vision. And I choose to speak faith. There's a difference between venting and speaking truth. I don't confuse complaining with honesty. I don't confuse negativity with authenticity. I can be real and still speak life. I can acknowledge the facts and still declare the truth. I've learned that just because something is happening doesn't mean I need to give it more power by giving it more words. I don't feed problems with my language. I confront them with my declarations. My environment is listening, my mind is listening, my spirit is listening, and every time I open my mouth, I'm either building or breaking. I choose to build. I choose to create an atmosphere of possibility, strength, and alignment with what I'm called to. I don't speak from where I've been, I speak from where I'm going. And the more I speak it, the more I step into it. I understand that what I say repeatedly becomes what I believe, and what I believe becomes what I do. So I choose words that stretch me, words that elevate me, words that align with the person I'm becoming, not the one I'm leaving behind. I am becoming the person I was created to be. I'm not here by accident. I wasn't placed on this earth to just survive, to just go through the motions, to fit in with the crowd, or to settle for a version of life that doesn't reflect the greatness inside of me. Every day I wake up, I'm evolving, I'm growing, I'm shedding old mindsets, breaking old habits, and walking away from anything that no longer aligns with who I'm becoming. I refuse to let the past define me. I refuse to let fear confine me. I refuse to let comfort blind me. I'm not going back. I'm not standing still. I'm moving forward, and I'm becoming more. I don't have to be perfect to be progressing. I don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step. I don't wait for ideal conditions or flawless execution. I take action with what I have. I give myself permission to grow in real time. I'm not comparing my process to someone else's highlight reel. I know that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens through repetition, through discipline, through intentional choices day after day. I honor where I'm at while staying focused on where I'm headed. There's a version of me I haven't met yet, the one who lives fully in purpose, who operates with clarity, who speaks with boldness, who walks in peace, who owns their space without apology. And every decision I make is either bringing me closer to that version or pulling me further away. So I make decisions with intention. I'm no longer available for distractions, excuses, or patterns that keep me in cycles I've already outgrown. I love myself enough to evolve. I love myself enough to confront what needs to be changed. I love myself enough to stop shrinking just because other people haven't grown yet. Growth requires disruption. It requires discomfort. It requires me to release things I once thought I needed. Habits, relationships, roles, environments. I don't resist that process. I embrace it. I trust that anything I'm asked to let go of is making room for something greater. I don't mourn the old me. I celebrate her for surviving. But I don't owe her my future. I owe my future to the person I'm becoming. And that person shows up differently. That person has new standards. That person doesn't apologize for their elevation. I don't let my identity be anchored to temporary emotions or outdated beliefs. I choose to renew my mind daily. I choose to speak to myself with truth and compassion. I choose to align with who I'm becoming, not who I used to be. Even when no one else sees the growth yet, I keep building. Even when it feels slow, I keep moving. Even when I fall, I get back up with more wisdom and more resolve. I don't need external applause to validate my internal progress. Not here to impress, I'm here to become. I hold myself accountable to the vision I carry. I don't compromise my future for short-term comfort. I don't negotiate my standards to maintain old connections. I don't entertain thoughts that tell me I am not enough. I am becoming, and becoming requires boundaries, clarity, and courage. I don't need to have all the answers to walk in purpose. I just need to keep showing up with intention, with humility, and with faith that every step matters. Every stretch matters. Every small act of alignment matters. I understand that who I'm becoming is not just about me. It's about the people I'm called to impact, the legacy I'm called to leave, the change I'm called to create. So I don't take this process lightly. I don't rush it. I don't despise it. I honor it, because becoming is sacred. Becoming is powerful. Becoming is the bridge between who I am and who I was always meant to be.